Before we get started, I want to apologize ahead of time for the quality of the audio during this video. There's a lot of sound in the background, there's a lot of reverb. You can hear us talking. Unfortunately, we had some issues with going live on Instagram. That being said, I hope everyone can still enjoy the podcast.
Yeah, what he said.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Geeks and Company and the first episode of the Geek Boutique podcast for 2022. Today we're going to do a little bit of I don't know, let's call it a roundtable or a year in review or whatever you want to call it of, some of our highlights and lowlights of 2021 and, what we're looking forward to in 2022. With us today, as always, Messiah Complex Cosplay, Mr. Jeff. How you doing, buddy?
I am back to work and I'm miserable and I don't want to be there. And it's Happy New Year to everyone. Hey, Doug saying hi on the live on Instagram there. So yeah, so just to reiterate, we are doing both. We're doing the podcast here through StreamYard, and this will be on YouTube and your podcast platforms, but we're also doing an Instagram live at the same time. So if you can't see us on one, make sure you check us out on the other. Yeah, dude, it's a new year and it sucks. Anyways, how are you guys? What's going on?
Doing good.
Yeah. Nice.
We also have my buddy Rob joining us officially for the first time on the podcast. Now, if you don't know my buddy Rob, go back and check out our Predator build videos. He's in a couple of those videos. Well, actually, you're in all the Predator videos, really.
I mean, I'm the other Predator.
He's the other Predator, exactly. So, that's that. How's it going, man?
Good. Excited to be here. Thanks for having me, guys. Looking forward to it.
Very, very welcome. For those that are watching this on YouTube, we were live, obviously, on Instagram at the same time. So if you see us reading some comments and answering some questions, that's what's going on there. If for any reason whatsoever you're actually watching us on YouTube and you're not subscribed to the channel, please, it's 2022. What are you waiting for? Subscribe to the damn channel. That way you'll never miss when we go live, when we do a new video, when we're doing this type of stuff. You'll know right away. Oh, and if you don't want to sit here and listen to us on YouTube, you can also listen to us on your favorite podcast platform. We use Podbean. So geekboutique.podbean.com. That is where you'll find us. But if not, just Google search the Geek Boutique podcast. Will be the first 4 or 5 results. So 2021, another hell of a friggin' year. Lots of movies being delayed again, although we have had a lot of movies come back. Before we get into pop culture, movies, TV shows, all that type of stuff, how about you guys give me a little bit about your personal highlights have been for last year?
Go ahead, Rob. You're the guest.
All right. My personal highlights. So I sold a house. I bought a house. I moved.
Sweet house.
Yeah, it's a little bit bigger than my last house. Not too far away from where I used to be, which was literally just down the street from JS, and now I'm just a short Uber ride away from JS now. So
a $7 Uber ride away.
Yeah, $7 Uber right away, exactly. So that was moving is stressful, but it's been positive. It's turned out really well. I got a new job at work that's worked out well. So on that front, it's gone really well for me. Personal highlight of the year, as you know, if you've seen the videos on the channel, Fan Expo this year or past year, that was a big personal highlight for me. That was my first major con experience. We did a couple small things beforehand, Oshawa Comic-Con and Halloween and whatnot, but Fan Expo last year in Toronto, my first one, was an amazing experience. Now I'm itching to get back at it, but of course, again,
well, your first Fan Expo in cosplay. Let's
in cosplay. That's true.
Yeah,
I did attend with you the one year when you did your Revan cosplay. That was fun.
No, my Red Hood.
Oh, true. Red Hood.
Yes.
Revan was in Oshawa.
Yes.
True. I guess I have been to more cons than I let on, but first one I went in majorly in cosplay. So that was fun. That was amazing experience. Got me hooked on it. Want some more of that, which is funny. I know most of you guys have been doing this a little bit longer, a little bit more experience, and here I am getting hooked on little bit later in life, but anxious to start work on our next project, and hopefully we can go to some more cons here in 2022. But really, just surviving 2021 and selling my house, and that was really my highlights of 2021. Not much more to report on that.
Just before we skip over to Jeff, Nook is online. What's up?
Hey, Nook.
Daughter is watching from Montreal. Yeah, I mean, you had a hell of a year, bud.
I have, yeah.
You really have. Between the house and the house was a big deal, to be honest.
That's a big deal, yeah.
But yeah. Jeff, what about you?
Nothing. What about you? No, I also started a new job. I didn't move, but I started a new job, and I'm a lot happier where I am now. So that's working out really well. And yeah, obviously getting to do cosplay in general, because I ended up getting up to a few different events and some charity stuff and everything else. Just being able to get back into costume and interact with people on that level is such a huge highlight. Being able to go to the movies, being able to go out for dinner, like just all the little things that we all took for granted for so long that we're all losing again. Hi, Ontario.
Yet again.
How you doing?
For sure.
Hopefully for a shorter period of time.
Thanks, Doug.
But yeah, I mean, just being able to get back to what we assumed was going to be some semblance of normal until old Omicron came along and showed us what normal really is. What are you going to do? But otherwise, yeah, it was the year that it was, and 2022 is kind of shaping up to be the same way. But we'll keep our fingers crossed that it's better.
For sure.
What about you, Mr. J?
For me, as silly as this is going to sound, my biggest highlight has to be creating the channel, the Geeks and Company. Just jumping in and doing it. And as much as it just started as a hobby, and it still is a hobby, let's be honest. I mean, I've got 400 freaking subscribers. It's not like it's like I'm a YouTube superstar here, but it's fun. I love doing it, and it's engaging, and I'm getting to meet people, and I've gotten to meet a lot of people. We've had people on the podcast that we have no business having on the podcast.
It's true.
So it's been, that has been really cool, and I'm, really looking forward to where it's going to go this year.
Nice.
But Fan Expo for sure for me has also. I don't know if I can explain, and I know we've talked about this in the previous podcast, but I don't know if I can explain that feeling when you're at a con and you just get mobbed. That being mobbed by people, and because they just want to take pictures with you and they want to talk to you and they want to figure out how you did that, and that blew my mind. I've been cosplaying for a couple of years and had never had that kind of experience before.
Yeah,
that was Rob's first cosplay experience, being mobbed like that.
That's part of the problem is he's got hooked, but the mountain is so high.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, you guys have set the bar so high. I have an inkling of what your next project is going to be, so hopefully it's going to have the same reaction. But yeah,
if we can get started on it. But
you definitely hit the ground running for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that personally was it for me. But yeah, I mean, being able to go to conventions again. All of a sudden, it's like, oh, we're finally out of this. We're finally getting to some semblance of normalcy. Just to get smacked right back in the face, with all this going on again. So,
boo.
Boo. I'd like to say I've checked out, but it's kind of hard to check out when it's all you can hear about and all people are talking about. But it is what it is. What was the first cosplay? I'm not sure, Stu, who you're asking.
I think he's asking you guys because Stu's buddy of mine, so he's definitely asking you guys.
My first cosplay was Revan. That was my first real cosplay. Yeah. Rob, I guess this was your first real cosplay.
It's my first real cosplay. I mean, we did a small
cosplay Predator, and
this is my first real one. Yeah, we did a Predator based off of the Alien versus Predator.
You had done a Punisher.
I did a Punisher before, but I mean, I don't really fit the Punisher profile. And then it was your vest actually. We threw that on, went to a con. That was fun. Predator was my first real con experience in cosplay, and like you said, we set the bar a bit high.
A little bit.
But it was fun. I mean, we started that build in 2020, and when everything went, the way it did, and we didn't get to go to a con, we got to do Halloween, which was fun, going out in the community, visiting a lot of different places in the community. That was super fun.
Technically, we started that build in 2019.
I think
I
we
started making
brainstormed
I started making the biomasks before Christmas.
Yeah.
So technically, 2019 is when I started working on this, and then we worked through all of 2020, hoping to go to Fan Expo in 2020. That never happened.
No. And then
sorry, go ahead, Rob.
I was just gonna say, and then 2021 last year, we thought, might be able to go to a con. So what can we do to level this up? And that's where we added some additions to it, the little bit of technology, some lighting, some sounds. And that's where we ended up this year, last year.
Yeah.
One of the folks on the live is asking what the cause plans are for 2022. So you guys want to reveal what it is that you have planned on working on for this year?
I mean, we've talked about it quickly before on the podcast. I mean, we're thinking of doing Transformers, really big, large. I mean, I want to do 10-foot tall Transformers. Rob is like, okay, whoa, hold on there, bud.
Yeah.
Reining me back a little bit here. So maybe more like 8-foot tall Transformers, but yeah, really big Transformers. We haven't decided. I mean, we've discussed it a couple times. We haven't really decided on which characters we want to do. I think we're slowly starting to agree on Starscream and Megatron. I think that would be the coolest for me anyway.
Yeah. I mean,
really, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day what character they are for me. I mean, as long as we're doing two big giant Transformers, that's for me the cool thing about it.
Yeah, I like villains, and so I'm all about the Megatron Starscream cosplay. So
you guys,
I am the bad guy. So yeah, I mean, Jess has been all over the podcast writing checks about this cosplay, so we have to deliver on it.
Yeah, we
so,
still haven't even started. Really,
We haven't even
Rob
started.
built a couple prototypes for the stilts, but
I've been
I mean,
wandering the aisles of Home Depot looking for materials to build stilts, and without killing ourselves.
We're already jumping to our what we're going to be doing in 2022. So let's bring it back a little bit here. I want to talk about, well, what we mostly talk about is, geek shit, movies and TV shows that we're into. For you guys, what were your 2021 highlights?
Oh, I have a list.
I do too. I've got a big list, and I know a lot of our stuff is the same. So
how
about we start with Rob, and then we'll go down both lists together, I guess.
Sure. So obviously there's the Disney, big year for Disney MCU. I wasn't necessarily into everything that they offered this year. I really liked Loki. Loki was probably the one I enjoyed the most. I couldn't really get into Falcon and Winter Soldier. I don't even really remember what happened in that show. WandaVision was different. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great. It was interesting. And I couldn't get into What If. It just didn't do it for me. I don't know if it's because I was, I really liked how the Infinity arc went. I just didn't really care about the What If, but it didn't do it for me. Spider-Man No Way Home, obviously, was a big one for 2021. I saw that in theaters just before they closed down. We'll get to that after, but that was really good. And Ghostbusters.
Yeah, for me, that's the fresh one on my mind. I mean, I know me and you both just watched it yesterday. It became available online. I hadn't had a chance to see it when it came out, which I'm really, really mad at myself for not going to see it in theater when it came out.
Me too.
I'm a little bit upset that the movie didn't make more money than it did. I mean, it made money. It didn't lose money like The Matrix, but it didn't make as much money as I thought it would, or I hoped it would. It made $185 million on a $75 million budget.
Well, at least
No Way Home. It made more money than
at least
it cost,
it made
though.
money. Yeah.
Yeah. But when you look at Spider-Man No Way Home, had a budget of like $210, and it made $1.4 billion.
Yeah, it's still raking.
I would have hoped Ghostbusters would have made more money because it was so good.
It was amazing. Have you seen Ghostbusters, Jeff?
I have not seen it yet. No.
You got to check it out. It's available online now. You got to check it out. It's so good.
Exceeded my expectations.
Yeah. As much as I was hyped up about it, I had some concerns about certain facts, like the fact that this cast was built around kids, and I was worried this was going to be a kids movie. But it's no more a kids movie than the original Ghostbusters were.
Yeah.
Like it's really a continuation of the story. It has the same score, the same music. The story fits perfectly within the story. Listen, it was amazing. I thought it was wicked. It was really, really well done. I really disappointed to make more money.
I think Stranger Things kind of proved that you could still do an entertaining show that is still aimed at adults with a largely kid cast. As long as the cast is good, they can still make it work. So,
yeah. And it's funny you say that because Finn Wolfhard is in this,
right? Yeah, that's what made me think.
And
of it
he's not very good in this.
Oh no,
he's not the star of the movie. Actually, he's not even the main character of the movie. He's a supporting character, really. The main star or the main character of the movie is McKenna Grace, who, listen, she plays Egon's granddaughter, and she's just like him.
She nails it.
Oh God, she nails it so good.
Yeah.
Her Harold Ramis is amazing.
Spores, molds, and fungus.
Oh yeah, listen, when you see it, you'll understand. She is bang on with the role.
Does she know about the Twinkie?
And yes, because they reference the Twinkies and the Crunchy bars a couple times in the movie.
Yeah,
thoughts on Hawkeye? I dug it. You know what? I really liked Hawkeye too. I want to get back to that, but before I get into the MCU shows, they brought Egon back.
Yeah.
Not only at the beginning of the movie as an alive character, but should I be spoiling this part?
I don't know. That's Well, I was asking.
I'm assuming most people here online have seen it, but I don't know if I should spoil it for Jeff.
Oh, I don't care.
They bring Egon back as a ghost, but listen, I just watched a video by Adam Savage today on how they did this, and they hired an actor who's a fairly popular actor to play Egon in real life on set, to interact with people. And then they hired a company out of Montreal to create Egon, to create the digital version of Egon. But they didn't create a digital version of Egon as a 70-year-old. They created a digital version of Egon in his 30s. And they inserted him in the original Ghostbusters movie. And they kept tweaking him and tweaking him and tweaking him until they couldn't tell the difference between the CG Egon and the real Egon.
So are you saying the flashbacks? So in the new Ghostbusters, they have some
the flashback scene is not Egon. It's CG.
Really?
That flashback scene is CG. That's not a scene from the original movie that they never used. That wasn't a cut scene. That is a CG scene of young Egon. Then once they got young Egon right, then they aged him to be 70 years old. And then once they aged him to be 70-year old, then they made him into a ghost. Like, it's incredible the work they went through to make him, but he looks so damn good. You would think he was on set. It is unbelievable. It's almost emotional at the end, to be honest, knowing if you were a fan of Harold Ramis, this is a bit of an emotional ending for anybody that was a fan.
Completely agree, yeah. It was totally an emotional ending.
Yeah.
And I was just going to say, all the other special effects in that movie, like, they deserve to win awards because they nailed it. Every aspect of it, they nailed.
As much as they look like the original effects from the original movies,
yeah,
they were just perfect.
Yeah.
They really were.
Nice.
MCU shows. Hawkeye. Have you both? Jeff, I know you haven't watched it because you're not interested in Hawkeye at all. Have you watched Hawkeye?
So I watched Hawkeye. I watched all of it and went in with low expectations.
Yeah.
Came out like it was better than I expected it was going to be. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't the golden gem of the whole what MCU has got going on right now.
Wasn't as good as Loki.
No. But it was better than Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and I didn't feel like I wasted my time. I liked it.
I thought it was. I really liked it. I really got that Die Hard kind of feel from that story. Not just because it's a Christmas story, but they have the right mix of action and comedy. And I don't know. I really got, and I know I've been saying it since the first trailer that we saw, but I really got that Die Hard feel out of the show. The only thing I'm a little bit annoyed with is if you're gonna make a story about Hawkeye's partner, why are you calling it Hawkeye?
Draw?
Because it wasn't his story, right?
No, I know, but draw, right? Like people
Yeah,
know that
I mean,
character, so
it's
that's
like
what's going to bring them
calling
in.
a movie Iron Man 4, but making it about Happy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
But if you
it was
call
good.
it Kate
Listen,
Bishop, no one's going to watch it, right?
well,
Like,
and
you
is
kinda
that
have
it?
to call
And now,
Hawkeye.
to be fair,
And he's in it
I
though,
don't
right? It's
know-
not like he's not in it, right?
Yelena
Like,
was the best part. Yes, Yelena was amazing in it. But you're right. Nobody's gonna watch it if they just call it Kate Bishop.
Yeah.
To be fair, in the comic books, she does become Hawkeye, and maybe that's
Right.
what they're referencing. Right? Is the fact
I'm sure it's a passing of
she
the
is
torch in
Hawkeye.
some regard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it really wasn't a story. I mean, he was in the story, but it wasn't his story. It was
No, for sure.
her story.
Yeah.
But yes, Yelena, she's only in for 2 or 3 episodes. Only like the back half of the show, and she's really good. I didn't know this actress before coming into Black Widow. I loved her in Black Widow, and she was great in this as well.
Yeah. Florence Pugh, or Pugh? Is that her name? Florence Pugh?
Pugh, I think.
Pugh? Yeah.
Florence Pugh, yeah. Episode 6 delivered the action. It really did. Yemeni, who's showing up was cool. Kate Bishop wants to be the new Hawkeye. Yeah. Yelena, and who's showing. Oh, I don't know if we should. Can we talk about that? Again, is it considered spoiling at this point since it's like 3 or 4 weeks ago now?
Depends.
Listen, if you're online and you're watching us live right now, well, even if you're watching us on YouTube, we're going to be spoiling stuff in 3, 2, 1. The big bad of Hawkeye is Kingpin.
Right.
Yeah.
But Kingpin from the Daredevil
Netflix,
TV show.
Yeah, the Netflix version of the character.
Yeah. So not only was Matt Murdock in Spider-Man No Way Home, now you've got Kingpin in
Just dropping all the spoilers now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the spoilers. And he gets shot in the face and somehow doesn't die. I don't understand that, but anyway, I guess you don't technically see him get shot in the face, but anyway. Hey, you got Hypergate Cosplay that's joined. I don't know how to pronounce this.
Look at these good beans.
These good beans.
Kingpin ain't dead either. Yeah, that's fair.
Kingpin. No, I don't think he is dead because at the end they show you where he was laying down dead and then he's no longer there. So
yeah, I don't know. They talked to Vincent D'Onofrio, the gentleman that plays the role, and he said he'd be more than happy to reprise and bring the character back. So, because I mean, who doesn't want a job and a paycheck, right? So,
well, yeah. And I love him. I mean, I've loved him since The Cell. Remember The Cell with what was her name?
Jennifer Lopez.
Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah.
He's the bad guy in The Cell, and then he was in Law and Order.
Dude, he's the bug in the first Men in Black.
There you go. That's right.
And he's brilliant Hector in that role.
Yeah,
he's so good in that role.
Yeah. What other MCU shows did we get this year? WandaVision. WandaVision was okay. Falcon and the Winter Soldier was okay. Loki was my favorite by far.
Yeah.
What if?
What if? I enjoyed What If up until the last 2 episodes. I didn't like that the Watcher gets involved in the story, and I think I've said this on last week's podcast or the podcast before. Once the Watcher is involved in the story, it's no longer a What If story; it's a Watcher story. I'm not there to see a Watcher story. I'm there to see a What If story. So.
Yeah, it's right in the name. He's the Watcher. Right?
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I get where they were going with the story, and I'm assuming this all has to do with Doctor Strange because it looks like Doctor Strange 2 is going to be Supreme Strange facing off against Doctor Strange. So I don't know. I liked it. It was okay.
I enjoyed the first episode. Yeah, I like the Captain Carter one. Everything after that, I felt it was a steady decline of everything after that. And then I think I've said before too, I hated how they tied everything up into one big thing, like Avengers style. Like that was the whole point of What If and Elseworld stories, that they would stand on their own, and that's kind of what I was hoping they would do and take some real chances and show some real goofy, crazy shit. And they didn't really do any of that. Yeah. So
I did like that they brought back Ultron. Ultron is the bad guy in What If.
Yeah.
So that was cool because Ultron was always one of my favorite One of my favorite bad guys in the MCU. Period. Villains. Thank you. In the MCU, he's awesome.
It was cool right up until he one shot a 5 Infinity Stone wielding Thanos, and then I was like, oh, okay, sure, let's go with that.
Yeah,
that easy was it? We had a whole friggin' 10-year arc of stories about fighting this guy, and Ultron beats him in 4 seconds with 1 stone. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
sure.
Well, he is Ultron. What can you do?
Lose to the Avengers in the second movie, apparently.
Well, yes. Actually, I want to stay with the MCU for a second, because they've released a couple movies this year that just weren't a very big hit. I mean, you had Black Widow, Shang-Chi.
I think Shang-Chi made some money anyways.
I mean,
I think that's considered like a hit per se.
I'm sure
and it was critically well reviewed, but I didn't enjoy it. But
was it really
people
though?
did.
Most people that I've spoken to, they're like, it's okay, but it's a good martial arts movie. It's just another carbon copy MCU movie, really.
Oh, it's easily my least favorite MCU movie to date. But I mean, I'm kind of an outlier on that. No one's really trashing it quite that bad. But I'll give you that it's divisive. But I think a lot more people liked it than didn't like it. It's not Eternals.
Fair enough.
Like everybody hated Eternals, but me apparently. And that was the universally. Even Black Widow had its fans and its detractors. Yeah, Neil Temple, Shang-Chi ruled. So a lot of people loved that film. A lot of people loved Black Widow. Nobody loved Eternals except for me. So
yeah, I feel like I got to give Eternals another watch when it comes out here in a couple of weeks on Disney Plus, because I've heard your opinions on it, and I got to rewatch it to see what you see in it. So
by all means, hopefully you'll get there. Not a lot of people.
Yeah, did. Rob, you were very vocal coming out of that movie about how you felt about that movie. You felt about that movie as much as strongly as you did about Wonder Woman 2.
Well, I mean, I don't think I felt that strongly about Eternals over Wonder Woman 2. That movie was just garbage.
So see, this is Eternals is poop. I loved Eternals. See, look at that. See, still some divisiveness there. So Marianne's got my back on my side. That's good. This is probably the most common refrain you'll see, that I haven't seen Eternals yet. That seems to be a running theme too. Just nobody saw Eternals except for like me, Marianne, and Neil apparently, and opinions were divided for sure.
But it wasn't
regardless.
Sorry, no, go ahead. What were you going to say, Rob? Was it?
I say it wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad movie. I guess perhaps going into it, I didn't know anything about it. And a lot of people have said this. It's just there's a lot of characters, and they do actually a good job of trying to explain everybody's backstory. But that's why I think I need to rewatch it a couple times to like pick up those things I missed the first few times.
Yeah, I feel like if you're gonna do a property. Okay, look, Eternals are widely unknown, right? Sure, there are comic book readers that read Eternals, but the general public don't know who the Eternals are. If you're going to make a property like that, just like when you had the Guardians of the Galaxy, right? I mean, if you threw in all 14 Guardians of the Galaxy that there's been over the years into one movie and tried to make this big epic where you're saving the world, people have been like, what the fuck is going on here, right? I feel like they should have worked Eternals into the Eternals. I feel like you should have had some different origin stories building up to the Eternals. But that's just me.
Yeah. No, I like the X-Men approach that they took for sure. It's like if X-Men was a DC film, you get Eternals. That's how I felt about it. So.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. We got Justice League, the Snyder Cut.
We did.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That was one of my highlights because I'm one of the few people that actually enjoyed Justice League in the first place. Josh Whedon's Justice League. I still had issues with it, but I still enjoyed it. I had very different opinions than other people who hated how Batman was portrayed in his movie, and I thought it was the most accurate to my 90s Batman anyway. And then the Snyder Cut was released, and I mean, it blew me away. It was miles better than the original, and I already liked the original, so I thought Justice League, the Snyder Cut, was wow. I friggin' loved it. I think I've watched it 3 times already. 3 times in 6 hours a piece.
Really?
Yeah. It's so good. It's so good. I friggin' love that movie.
I agree. I really liked it. I was one of those people who, I mean, I liked the Josh Whedon version, but I didn't go back and watch it again. But once I watched the Snyder Cut, I was really into it. I haven't gone back and spent another 3 hours to watch it, but
You should. It's really good.
Yeah,
It's really good.
yeah, it's worth the rewatch. You pick up a lot of subtle things that you missed the first
Yeah.
time through.
Yeah.
But same thing, I didn't have a problem with the original Justice League until, and that's all it is, right? Like once you see what Snyder wanted to do with it and the direction he wanted to go,
Yeah.
and the depth that he wanted to put into it, and then what happened as a result, it really colors that original Justice League.
Yeah.
Like I went to the theater, I went to the premiere dressed as Superman for the original Justice League.
Did you
and I had a
really?
blast. I did, yeah. I was with a Batman and a Wonder Woman, and the three of us got invited out by the theater to like help promote the premiere and stuff. We had a great time. It was wonderful, and I liked the movie at the time. I got all the detractions and Mustache Gate and all that stuff with all the reshoots and stuff. I got it, but it was still. I'm like, this is an entertaining film. And then the Snyder Cut comes out. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
oh, it's terrible to me now because this is what it could have been, and it wasn't because of issues and studio and Zach having to leave because of his daughter.
Yeah, and it blows my mind how many scenes Josh Whedon refilmed with just a slight different angle.
Right, yeah.
And like one extra word, and it's like, wow, like really?
Yeah, what was the point?
And all to make a movie that, now I'm saying a shitty movie. It wasn't a shitty movie, but you know what I mean? Like you've changed it so much and you refilmed most of it. Because when you watch, I don't know if everybody here has watched the Snyder Cut. I like the Snyder Cut better. Everybody likes the Snyder Cut better.
Yeah.
If you
Not
haven't seen the
everybody,
Snyder Cut, go
but-
check it out. I mean,
yeah,
even the
for sure.
scenes that you get in the original movie, the scenes are different in the Snyder Cut because they were filmed slightly different. And Josh Whedon came in and reshot 80% of the movie, and the extra 20% Snyder didn't use in his cut at all. Right? So yeah, it was very, very well done. I really liked it. Really liked it.
Mm-hmm.
One that came out of nowhere for me was Free Guy. Tell me you've seen Free Guy.
Yep.
I have not.
Oh my God. You are missing out. Free Guy for me was one of my favorite movies of the year.
I somehow totally missed out on Free Guy. I didn't even hear about it until you mentioned it today.
It's available to stream on Disney Plus, so get in there.
Some more homework.
You should check that out. Neil Temple says too many bad jokes in Justice League. I hate Ezra Miller's Barry. He's not so bad in the Snyder Cut though. You know what? He's not. They portray him very differently in the Snyder Cut, right? The Flash is not the dumb, goofy idiot that he is in the Josh Whedon version. And he actually has a storyline.
Yeah. Same with Cyborg. He actually gets a storyline.
Same with Cyborg. He actually gets a storyline.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Ezra and Cyborg were the two biggest losers of
Free Guy was hilarious, but didn't get as much advertisement as I would have think it should have got. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Free Guy was maybe not pushed out, but Free Guy was another one of those where it was completed before the pandemic, and then they had to sit on it and wait.
Yeah.
So that stretches out the marketing for it. That's all the money they have to keep spending. The Bond movie, No Time to Die, ran into the same problem where it was done way early, and then they had to sit on it in the can. But you kind of have to keep the public's mind on it. But then it's over such a huge stretch of time. So. But I mean, let's be fair. Again, spoiler warning. And sorry, Rob, but the end fight scene between Guy and Dude is like it's kind of like the airport scene in Civil War. Which, by the way, I still didn't really enjoy Civil War. But without that airport scene in Civil War is a steaming pile of garbage. Like you have to have that airport fight scene. You have to have that Dude Guy fight scene.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed Civil War, but I feel like they built the movie around that fight.
But
the only reason they did Civil War is to do that fight.
So stupid.
Yeah, it's
terrible. How can we make it so these guys will fight? Make it so Bucky killed his parents. What are you talking about? That's never even been hinted at before. No, trust me, it's gonna work. It's totally gonna work.
Yeah.
It didn't work. Anyways, what I will say about Free Guy, it was really nice, that little cameo that was stuck in there. That might have been, because when did the season 2 of The Mandalorian air? Was that in 2020 or was that in 2021?
2020.
Okay. So my favorite cameo of 2020 was Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker on The Mandalorian season 2. But my favorite cameo of 2021 is easily Chris Evans in Free Guy. Like, what the shit? Yeah, so great. And how they get there with him is, pretty brilliant. So, yeah, I was not mad at that at all. There was no driving plot without that fight. Yeah, exactly, Marianne. Exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other one that I wanted to mention too, by the way, since we're still on the movie kick, is Dune. I don't know about you guys, if you guys have seen Dune or not. Dune for me was a movie that I've waited so long to see. A good friend of mine, Mike, who's been on the podcast before, our Lord of the Rings podcast, said he still prefers the 84 version, still prefers the Lynch version over the Villeneuve version. And I grabbed the beer out of his hand and I put it down at the table and I told him, no, it's bad. Because I do have love for the Lynch version. I mean, I was 11 when that came out, and that movie was huge for me when that happened. But then seeing Villeneuve really bring all the subtleties and nuances to life, and then the cinematography, that film is so gorgeous. The characterization, the world building, the storytelling, it's all there. Does it end a little abruptly, like right seemingly in the middle? Yeah, because it's part one and we're going to get a part two. Would have been better if they could have filmed them back to back so we could have the part two almost right away. Yes.
So that's, I think, a lot of people's issues, including mine. Right?
Of course. It ends very abruptly.
I'm sure once you watch part one and part two back to back, the old version will be nothing compared to it.
Yeah.
But if comparing half a movie to a complete movie, yeah, you know what I mean? The old version, you get a full story.
You do get the full story.
But
you also get Sting in a metal Speedo.
So, but you know what? Sting was huge back then, right? I mean,
you've got to wait. Patrick but I didn't need to see him in a metal Speedo, did you?
They were the shit back then,
covered in oil and shit. Yeah, that was rough.
I'm waiting for it to stream. Do part one, best movie of the year. I mean, it was very good. I don't know about best movie of the year.
Incredible. I could not agree more. Easily the best movie of the year for me, for sure. I got emotional in that film. That's how much I love that film and how much I wanted that film to exist. My girlfriend's looking at me at the time. She's like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm like, "Nothing. It's fine." So yeah, it's good. Did very much enjoy.
Do you guys have any other properties or franchises? Or
the one thing I wanted to mention from early in the year that you and I covered pretty extensively here on this channel is DC Fandom.
Yeah,
I'm so glad they did it again for my DC peeps out there. That event, Shazam, they shrunk it down to
not Shazam, Black Adam,
another the Batman trailer,
the Batman.
But just even getting to see all the interactions, all the different TV shows coming out, all the different animated stuff, all the different movies coming out, Blue Beetle, you name it, all those properties. We talked about it extensively. I think we had Robbie on that podcast when we were talking about that one.
And we did.
Yeah. Such a great, it was such a fun way to spend a Saturday. And I even like the fact that they condensed it down to one day, unlike last year where it was two. Just so we can everything seemed relevant,
right? Is a lot of people got to see everything, right? So, and there was so much information. I mean, it was probably the best DC fandom. This was what, the third one?
No, like online?
Was only the second?
It's only the second.
Well, it was way better than the other one. That's for sure.
I agree. Yeah, it was very well done, and I was super hyped the whole time. So it was.
And I like the format that they used, right? Because it was really a presentation style format, right? Where one property would come up and then that star would come on stage and they would do a story about this. And then they would show you clips of filming and then they would show you the trailer. And it felt like you were sitting at a convention. What do you call those? Like a
Q&A panel type of thing? Or
it was really cool. Yeah, I really liked it.
I still want to be the Warner Brothers exec that had to go to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, the biggest movie star in the world, and be like, "Listen, we need to anchor this with Batman. So you gotta come out first. You gotta lead on this. You're not going to be batting cleanup on this one. You've got to lead off on this one." And The Rock just looking over like, "Yeah, I guess that's what I'm doing." And he did it. And he did a good job. I'm not giving The Rock any grief, but. That I wanted to mention DC Fandom and then Lower Decks, which I know you and I, JS, have talked about extensively on this channel because we're such giant Trek nerds. But oh my God, is this not the breath of fresh air on Trek TV that we've been waiting for since Next Gen, essentially? Since Deep Space Nine or whatever.
Well, for me, since Deep Space Nine, I guess for you since Voyager, I suppose.
Yeah, I suppose. Voyager.
But yes, I'm getting a lot of hate for those comments on my videos.
And well, you should be.
People seem to not like Lower Decks, but I friggin' love it.
Oh,
it's the best Trek we've had, I think, since DS9.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Have you seen it, Rob? Are you a Star Trek guy or no?
I'm not a huge Star Trek guy, but I have watched the first few episodes. I'm just getting started in it, and I think it's pretty good. But I'm not caught up to speed.
I love it, and the number of references to different shows and different
Oh, it's
characters and
crazy.
different events, and listen, it's an Easter egg hunt. That whole show is an Easter egg hunt.
You're not wrong.
It's
You're not wrong.
so,
Because you and I are
so
giant
good.
Trek heads, and I'm willing to bet we still miss Easter eggs. Like I'll see
I
notes afterwards. I'll be like,
guarantee
"Oh my god, that was a thing! I didn't even see that or notice that."
Oh,
So,
I guarantee you. Hey, Tim just joined. What's going on, Tim?
yeah, he must have sensed our like we're talking about lower
talking
decks,
about Trek.
and he's like, "I've got to get on there right now." They're talking about Trek.
So I mean, Lower Deck for sure. As far as I'm concerned, best Trek on TV right now.
My buddy Michael, Lower Decks is brilliant. Yeah, it is.
It is.
Dude. Yeah,
it really
so
is.
Good. Yep. Are we going to talk about the Book of Boba Fett? Or are we going to throw that in here at some point?
I mean, technically, the Book of Boba Fett. I mean, the first episode, I suppose, came out in 2021. We could
in
talk
general,
about it
or do you want to
quickly.
leave that for 2022?
I mean, we could talk about it quickly. I mean, I don't know if have you, Rob, had a chance to watch the first 2 episodes?
Yep, I'm caught up.
Yeah,
And I watched your reaction video there as well.
Yeah. Well, okay. So,
episode.
Okay. So I made a reaction video to episode 1, and anybody here that's watched it, or anybody that's watching us here that's watched it, episode 1 for me was a bit weird. I didn't like how they portrayed Boba Fett. The pacing of the show was all over the place. It wasn't what I expected. Episode 2. Oh, man, does it flip everything on its head.
Yeah, so you like destroyed episode 1 in your video, your review video, and I tend to agree with you. What was going on there? You expected Boba Fett to be like kicking ass all over the place, and then he just gets his ass handed to him a couple times. But episode 2, they flipped that for sure.
Yeah, like Boba Fett being led on a leash by a little kid. Like, are you serious? This is Boba Fett.
Just the little kid and the like dog animal that he like already kicked that dog's ass twice.
What did you think, Jeff?
My only real issue with the first episode was it was just too much flashback. I hate flashbacks and prequels and all that jazz. And that first episode was probably 2/3 flashback.
You know what?
See how we got out of the Sarlacc pit, and it is. Yeah, see, that I'm not a huge fan of, but I mean,
that's you know what? You're gonna change your mind because you're getting a whole other story. We're actually now getting to learn about Tusken Raiders,
right?
Which we never have in the past.
Yeah.
In no Star Wars media have we ever known anything other than these guys are background characters. Now they're showing us that they're tribes and how they live and how they fight and how the Gaffi sticks came to be, and they're developing a lot of lore in the flashback.
Right.
So as much as you're right, the flashbacks in episode 1 were too much. It works.
Starting to look like the flashbacks are the story.
Exactly.
Right.
Of this
book. Of course, it is the book of Boba Fett. So I get it. I just don't. I have an issue with the format, so I don't know how that's going to work for me. But I guess. We'll
but
see.
Jeff, we had this discussion before, me and you, where I proposed that perhaps the book of Boba Fett. No, you have not accepted. I don't think so. But I proposed that the book of Boba Fett is really a bridge from The Mandalorian to the other Dave Filoni shows that are going to be coming out.
Right.
A bridge to what the next part of the story is going to be. So right now we're doing character development, and I feel like the Book of Boba Fett that's all it's going to be. It's going to be a character piece on Boba Fett. There's not going to be any real big crazy story like we got in The Mandalorian season 2. It's really just going to develop these characters for what's coming next. I think that's what they're doing with Boba Fett. Personally.
I guess we're going to find out in 2022.
We will.
Love the culture of the Raiders, doing a great job with that. Exactly. Like we never really found out anything about the Tusken Raiders before.
But more to Marianne's point there, what I was hoping to see and sort of how they build it is the underworld of the Star Wars universe and how Boba Fett taking over Jabba the Hutt's business is going to have to navigate his way through that because we never really experienced or seen that before. So while that's fascinating that we're going to find out what the Tusken Raiders are, is that going to have any real impact long-term on the rest of these series moving forward? We kind of need to see Boba Fett being the crime boss that he's supposed to be, running this underworld that we now are getting exposed to. And from the sounds of it, we're still not seeing that yet after 2 episodes. So I'm hoping we get there at some point. and we can see how this underworld really works and what his place in it's going to be. And
You really got to watch episode 2.
Yeah.
okay,
You really got to watch episode 2.
I
I'm going to
will.
spoil a quick little fact for you.
You go right
The
ahead.
Hutts are coming.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Actually, the Hutts came.
Oh, nice.
And shit's about to friggin' go down, bud. Because
Well,
there's a new
that's good.
Wookiee on the hunt, and holy shit, does
Oh,
he look
yeah.
badass.
He's a badass
Nice.
Wookiee for sure.
Now, he seems a little short to me, though, because he didn't seem like he was that much taller than everybody else, where Chewie was like 7 foot tall, right? But yeah, you got to watch episode 2.
And we're not gonna height shame here on this channel,
Yeah.
right? We're gonna
We're not
accepting of
height-shaming,
all. Sounds
Hutts
a little
plural,
sounds a little
yes.
height shaming.
but Hutts plural, that's right.
Yeah, that's plural. Yep. Cool.
All right, we've talked about a lot of stuff that we enjoyed in 2021, a lot of highlights for us. It looks like everybody had to have decent years. Low points. I mean, I think the biggest low point is how the year is ending. I don't know if there's anybody watching us that is that are in other parts of the world, but we're essentially back in lockdown. Quebec is back into curfew. They've shut all our restaurants down, all our theaters, gyms, you name it. Everything is once again shut down. Yeah, right at Christmas time, again.
My wife's laid off again.
Again.
The 4th time.
So, obviously that's the huge, I don't know that there's anything that's going to top this damn pandemic as far as low points for the year. But The Matrix.
I still haven't seen it. The low point for me is the reactions to it, but I still haven't watched it yet.
I'm not going to spoil any of the scenes. I'm not going to spoil any of the story for you, Jeff. But I was disappointed in what I was expecting, and I wasn't even expecting much because I was going in there thinking, oh boy, I had seen a couple of reviews on YouTube and they were trashing this movie, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to sit through this for 2.5 hours, and I'm not even driving. Rob was driving, so I'm like, I can't even leave in the middle of the movie if this thing sucks so bad. But it didn't suck that bad. Like, it was not very good, but it was watchable. It was still a Matrix movie, right? If you enjoyed The Matrix 2 and 3, you're going to enjoy this movie.
I did enjoy The Matrix 2 and 3. So
well, there you go. So you're going to enjoy this movie. There's no doubt about that.
2 more than 3, but
fair enough.
Yep.
I mean, 2 was better than 3.
Mm-hmm.
2 had the highway chase.
Yeah.
The best scene of that movie.
Yeah. No question.
From before it even goes onto the highway, that whole albino twins chase and fight is fantastic.
Yeah.
But we didn't get that in this movie.
Right.
I don't think we got anything we wanted. So I'm going to resist going on a major tangent here, but I didn't know what to expect going into this movie. Were we getting, because I tried to avoid all the reviews and talk about it. I wanted to just go in and see it for what it was. I didn't know, were we getting a reboot or were we getting a version 4? And I feel like we got more of a version 4, but we didn't get any, in my opinion, we didn't get any of the really awesome things about all the previous Matrix movies. There was no like standout scenes for me to come back and talk about. There was no new like fight scenes that were noteworthy. There were no new camera tricks. There was no bullet time. I mean, I don't want to spoil it too much for Jeff. There was
there's bullet time, but
there's bullet time, but it was
there's nothing new.
There's nothing new.
There's nothing revolutionary about how they made the Matrix. Like when they made the first Matrix, they sold me anyway. I was sold on the fact that we were getting a new Matrix in the sense that we're revolutionizing things all over again, and we're giving you something completely brand new, which it wasn't.
They should have blew our socks off in the first 5 minutes, and they didn't.
Yeah, the first 10 minutes, you're like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, I heard you say that under your breath.
Yeah. Like,
anyway, I don't want to spoil it too much if you're a fan, Jeff, and you haven't seen it.
I am, yes. And I do have a copy of it, so I am going to be watching it very soon.
Yeah, watch it out. Digital copy's been available for like a week now. I you know what? To be fair, I'll probably even go back and rewatch it. There's actually a great YouTube channel, and anybody that's watching, go check it out. It's called The Matrix Explained. and he goes into a lot of the very deep diving of the lore of the Matrix. And he's explained a lot of things that I didn't catch in the
Right.
movie, that it's like, oh, well, that kind of makes sense, even though it still didn't really work. I can see why now. There were reasoning behind a lot of the choices that they made.
Mm-hmm.
Again, for me, was the treatment of, and we talked about that just the other night. I haven't published that video yet. The treatment of Neo, how they portray Neo from beginning to end in this movie, kind of, I don't want to say pissed me off, but it turned me off a little bit. That's for sure.
It wasn't what I was expecting.
Yeah.
At all.
What else? Black Widow. Do we want to talk about Black Widow for a minute?
Sure.
One of my most disappointing MCU movies in a long time, and it was probably one of, if not my most anticipated movie of 2021. I was so excited about Black Widow coming out. Finally, we were going to get a Black Widow movie. She should have had a Black Widow movie 10 years ago. Finally, we're getting a Black Widow movie, and it's like, man, this is a fucking dumb movie.
Sure
like,
was.
the story didn't really make sense to me, and it felt like, you know, what? Like, the action was okay, but I don't know. Like, it was just a big, huge disappointment again for me.
It felt like something that should have come out in the first few movies that the Marvel MCU released.
Yeah.
Not the like 28th movie.
Yeah.
When we've gone through this whole Infinity arc.
After she's already dead.
That's what they come out with. Like, they could, I know they can do better. But it wasn't terrible. It was worth watching. I'm not going to go back and rewatch it anytime soon.
No.
But
it's definitely like the movie that should have come out in 2017. Like, it's just, it's so out of place and disjointed and after an afterthought. And I mean, I know we're not supposed to get all caught up in continuity and stuff, but I mean, the character's not going anywhere. She's dead. And they've said unequivocally that she's not coming back. So what was the point of this movie in the first place? Just to fill in her backstory. What do I hate, JS? Prequels and fucking flashbacks. And this entire movie was just a giant prequel that served no purpose other than to bring Yelena into the overall MCU to sort of carry the torch now for Black Widow. And you could have done that.
The only good part of that movie was the fact that they brought in Yelena.
Yeah, I just didn't need 2 hours and 20 minutes of movie to have that.
No,
they could have done that in a myriad of different ways. So
they could have introduced her in Hawkeye.
Yeah, they sure could have.
Absolutely.
Had one little filler episode where you kind of give her backstory and then
exactly.
Boom.
Exactly.
But
that was the one thing about Hawkeye actually that I found was a little bit annoying, is like 2 episodes in and you're already getting filler episodes and it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, a lot of the MCU were like that. A lot of the shows were like that, I found.
It's only 6 episodes long and you're giving me
and you're giving me like 3 filler episodes in a 6-episode show. Like, I mean, Tim here, back from the Matrix chat, was saying they should have stopped after the first one. I enjoyed the franchise, but it went nowhere. It really didn't. And you're right. I mean, I kind of feel like they should have stopped after the first one. The first one was the best one of them all. The first Matrix changed the way they made movies.
It did.
It revolutionized filmmaking. No other Matrix movie did that after that. Actually, they just got worse and worse. So,
and maybe that's the problem. They just set the bar too high and can never live up to their own success, right?
Yeah. The Dark Side said, hello, everyone. Hello. Thanks for coming back every week and joining us. What else?
On the nerd side of things, my biggest low light, and is going to continue to be low light, is the chip shortage, global chip shortage, and the scalpers when it comes to consoles, GPUs, CPUs, that kind of thing. It's really, really a drag. My son this year for Christmas, his first ask was an Xbox Series X. Could not find one anywhere on planet Earth. His second ask was a gaming PC. I had to rip the video card out of my PC and put it in his because I couldn't get a reasonably priced. His GPU would have cost me more than the rest of his box combined. So that has been a major low light. It's going to continue to be a low light. I've heard that it's not going to be till closer to 2023 before we're finally over the hump on this. And the fact that scalpers are taking advantage of that and people are paying $1,500 for a video card is just stupid.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you. I did the exact same thing. I ripped my video card out of my PC and gave it to my son. I've got twins, so I've got to do 2 gaming PCs, two video cards.
That's the
And
worst.
I was even in Canada Computers just before Christmas asking them. I was there for another reason, but I'm saying, like, what does the video card landscape look like? And
Barren, like Tatooine. That's what it looks like.
Yeah. And he was kind of hinting, like, well, what are you looking for? And I'm like, I don't know anything. Like, I'm not really looking, but what's. And he's like, he's telling me that I could get one, but I had to buy all the other components for a PC before they sell me one. And I'm like, well, I did that 6 months ago when I couldn't get the video card. Now you're telling me
you can buy a pre-built. You can spend $1,000 or $1,200 and buy a pre-built PC that has a decent GPU in it, a decent video card in it, but then you have an entire box that you still spent $1,200 on, type of thing. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, well, I asked him that. I said, oh, you must be talking about a pre-built. He's like, no, like, even if you're building it yourself, they have video cards in the back, but they would not sell it to me unless I bought everything else to go with it.
Oh, that's still stupid.
Even though you bought all that stuff from them just 6 months ago and you didn't buy the video card because they didn't have any. So you bought the rest, and now that the video cards are in, now they won't sell them to you because you already bought your stuff.
They want to make their money somehow, right? Like,
dude, that's the biggest bullshit I've ever seen, man.
It's total bullshit, but
Canon Computers, shame on you. Like, you fuckers.
Shame on you. But the global chip shortage is still a real thing. When was the last time you drove by a car lot that sells new cars? They're all empty.
Yeah.
Because apparently they all take the same. They all take the same chip that it's required because every vehicle now comes with hands-free, and they all need a specific chip for hands-free, and that's the chip. So most of those cars, by the way, are all built, and they're just sitting. Apparently, millions of cars is what I've been told are just sitting waiting for these chips to be installed, to be put on the lot, to be sold instantly, because there's just no there's no new cars on the lots at all.
Yeah, especially 2019 Jeep Cherokee,
0 stars on Yelp. Yes, I agree. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we don't want to get into my vehicle problems there, JS.
Yeah, don't want to get into the weeds on that. So
that
was for me. It was a big low light for 2021 because it affected literally everything I did as far as gifting goes and such. So, and now my son's got a decent video card, and I'm sitting here with a 1030 and pretty much just playing the few games I can play on that because I didn't want to deprive him. He's got a whole Oculus Rift and the whole 9 yards, so he needed something at least decent to be able to drive that. So, yeah. What are you gonna do?
Nothing. I'm just I'm dreading when, like, both my kids are running probably 6-year-old video cards now, and I've already had to replace the fans on them, and I'm just dreading the day one of them dies, and then I'll be that guy looking to spend $1,000.
Yeah, because that's funny about the shortage. I remember when the tequila shortage happened too a few years ago, and the price of tequila went up because there was a shortage of whatever, the cactus or whatever. And then when the shortage was done, the price of tequila never really came back down. No. And I worry the exact same thing is going to happen with video cards, the price and consoles. The price shoots up. And they're like, oh, wait, you'll still pay this amount for it? Well, then we'll just always charge this amount moving forward. So, because I know both NVIDIA and AMD just are going to release budget cards. NVIDIA is doing the 3050, and I think NVIDIA or AMD is doing the 6500 or something like that. But again, they're supposed to be priced at $199. That's the manufacturer's suggested retail price, and you're not going to find one. You're not going to find one for less than $500 or $600. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, lame, so lame. Anywho.
Yeah, I don't do any real gaming, so I don't have to worry about video cards.
Well, that's good. You're lucky.
I run off of a laptop, so
yeah.
I mean, like the chip shortage affects everything: gaming consoles, video cards, cars, everything.
iPads,
phones.
Yeah, you name it, man. It's brutal out there. My daughter wanted an iWatch.
Trying to find an iPad for Christmas was
a nightmare. I did manage to get one, but then my daughter wanted an Apple Watch, and I could not find an Apple Watch anywhere, like a new Apple Watch anywhere. I get any of the old ones I wanted, but not a Series 7. My daughter was very disappointed. She had to settle for a Switch.
Oh,
I know, right? What a hard life.
I know, for her.
Poor wee little thing.
For her. Anything else? Any other low points for 2021 you guys want to talk about? Because we've already been talking for an hour, and I do want to get into a little bit of 2022, right? What are you guys looking forward for 2022? Plans, things that you're excited about. What's going on?
I mean, I'll start this. I'm looking to put, like everyone else, this latest wave behind us, so maybe we can get on with the things we enjoy doing, such as cons.
God, hopefully, really hoping we can get back to cons this year, because
what was it? Comic-Con in Toronto was, I don't know, supposed to be March 2022, but
that'll probably get canceled.
That's going to be canceled. So hopefully Fan Expo happens. That's what, in August again?
Yep.
Well, it should be. I think they've already started selling tickets for August. So
yeah, they just announced Ming Na Wen as a potential guest for that.
Oh, really? Oh, interesting.
Today,
Yep.
So looking forward to that, and hopefully JS and I can pull together a miracle here and get something done for that this year. Something new.
Get to work, boys. Get to work.
Yeah. No, we're gonna get started on that probably this weekend, I would imagine.
Nice.
But
good.
So looking for that. A couple movies I'm interested in seeing: Thor: Love and Thunder. Looking forward to that one. Big fan of the Thor movies, especially after it kind of changed directions after the second Thor, right? Get a little bit better of a character. Alien. So I don't know that that's coming out in 2022, but I'm a big Alien fan, as you can perhaps see over my shoulder right there.
Yeah, you know what? Can we see that guy up close? I saw you posting some pictures on Instagram there. Did you get that for Christmas?
I did get that for Christmas. I might have, purchased that for myself for Christmas, but you want me to get that?
Other alien stuff, you mean?
No, that's Xenomorph behind me.
Yeah.
What are you talking? So I'm looking. There's going to be a new Alien TV series coming out.
Yes,
that's what I'm looking forward to. I don't know that it's coming out in 2022, but I know the production's starting. But you want me to grab that guy?
Yeah.
All right, one sec here.
Yeah.
On Instagram Live, my buddy Michael's saying Steam Whistle, which is a big feature of us going to the Toronto Con. So you're right, sir. And then the Dork Side's talking about how she was, totally on track to finish her cosplays by March. And probably not going to happen. Oh, wow. That's really
he looks pretty good, bud.
Let's get him on the Instagram here. Over in the...
Nice.
So you bought that for yourself is what you were basically saying.
Yeah, we were in Walmart of all things. Sorry, let me get this straight.
You found this at Walmart?
I found this at Walmart. We were doing some stocking stuffers for the kids, and I saw this, and I'm like...
You're like, that's stuff in my stocking.
That's going in my stocking for sure.
That's right.
It's awesome. Like every aspect of this, even the feet, like articulates in 3 different places on the feet. Like everything, you can pose everything you want. I'm like, I need that. I got that in my life. So
nice.
Yeah,
you need that. And it's posable, and you have him standing like Quagmire in the background.
What? yeah.
Like
I knew I was gonna get ripped for that. I want to have it posed down in like a low crouching stocking, but you can only do so much. I'll try to improve on it.
Yeah. Jeff, what about you?
I mean, movie wise, all things DC and Marvel. So I know that might shock some of you to know. Yes, I am still looking forward to some of the Marvel stuff. In particular, Doctor Strange 2, directed by Sam Raimi of Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3 fame. The She-Hulk TV show, I am actually looking forward to that one too. Big Tatiana Maslany fan after Orphan Black, which is one of my favorite shows of all time. And then the DC stuff, obviously Black Adam, the Batman, Aquaman 2, Shazam 2, so much DC stuff coming on the horizon. The Flash, so looking forward to all of that stuff. And then like I said, mostly just hoping that we can get past this chip shortage, so I can get myself a real video card and get into some higher end video games as well. Would be super cool to do. Excuse me. And as far as TV goes, so The Expanse technically started in 2021, but it's going to finish its full run here in 2022. So I'm looking forward to that, but I'm going to be really, really sad because it's easily been my favorite thing on TV of the past. I don't even remember how long. It's so great.
What is that streaming on?
This is the final season. So
Prime.
It's on Prime. Yeah.
I can't hear either one of you now for some weird reason.
You can't hear either one of us? don't know. I can hear all of you guys.
That's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's all right.
Everybody on Instagram, can you still hear him, or has he just gone crazy?
All of a sudden, I just can't hear you guys.
Say what you want about Jeff now, yeah.
We can hear all three of you. Well, there you go.
That's not it. Nope. All right. Well, I've got a screw that we can hear all three of you. Yes, on the Instagram live, I can still hear stuff, but on here, I can't. I'm gonna try to leave and come back.
Yeah, that's fine. There we go. Bye. Should I do the cricket sound? Well, they're not crickets, they're crows in this case.
It's funny because I can still see them on the Instagram live, but
they can hear them on the Instagram live
Yeah.
as well. Yeah. Bye, Jeff. Yeah, exactly. Oh, here he is. There we go. He's already back.
I'm here.
Man, that was quick.
can you hear us?
Yeah. I can hear you.
All
Now.
right. We'll just have to edit that part out.
It was blessed silence for a bit there, but now,
Yeah.
now I got to listen to you two. What did I miss?
You
I was
guys
gone
at
for
all
so long.
excited about Obi-Wan?
Dude? It's one of the
is that
cosplays I
even
do.
still supposed to release this year?
Yeah. Crows are cooler anyway.
Cooler than crickets. Yeah, I have a little soundboard thing, and I have an awkward
I gotcha.
button. But my awkward button, instead of being crickets, it's crows. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, of course Obi-Wan. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, big
Definitely
time.
looking forward to it.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of the prequels, but I think everyone agrees that Ewan McGregor killed it in those films. So
for sure.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
He is Obi-Wan. He's the Obi-Wan we have. We've lost the other one, so yeah.
Yeah,
if he doesn't hit at least one hello there, though, I'm going to be really, really upset.
You know he's gonna. I mean,
he better. I don't want any of this like we're not doing fan service nonsense. If there's not a hello there, I'm gonna drive.
They totally
to LA.
played on that in the Clone Wars. You know they're gonna get one hello, at least one hello there for sure.
They better. All right.
Yeah, they can't not.
No.
For me, I'm really looking forward to what I'm going to be doing with this channel in the next year. Actually, over the next couple months, I'm going to start building a workshop studio that I'm calling the Prop Shop in the basement. So an actual place where I can film builds. So as I'm working on stuff, whether they're one-day builds or whether they're full cosplay builds while we're working on or Transformers, whatever it is, I want to have a shop space, a workshop space that I can film at. So I'm going to be doing that. Canadian Comic Cutie says, "Hey, what's going on?"
Hola.
Heck yeah, that's awesome. That sounds amazing. Can't wait to see. Thank you. I'm actually going to try to film the build of the workshop.
Yeah, you should.
I'd love to do an episode or maybe even two, or I don't know how it's going to all work out, but I've got some plans of what I want to do, and I'm going to be building a couple workbenches and a spot for my 3D printer and a spot for my Cricut and a spot for my tools and an actual table that I can work at and so on and so forth. So
nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm thinking of filming that as I build it, and then that will be the space where I can film, tutorials and builds and whatnot.
Yeah, man.
Right?
Do it.
I actually found at Costco probably a month and a half or 2 months ago, it's a paper craft. It's a box with a bunch of sheets of paper in it, and you build stuff out of this paper, and the build is a 4-foot long Star Destroyer. Listen, when I saw it, I thought it was a toy. I didn't realize at first it was paper. I thought it was a toy, like a model kit. And then when I grabbed the box, I realized it's an actual paper craft. So that's one of the things I'm going to be doing. I'm going to do like a one-day build. It won't be a one-day build, but as I'm building this Star Destroyer, I'll actually have a space to build it on. 24-hour IG lives every day for 3 months. Yeah, basically.
I have work and a life, and none of that's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Anything for you guys on the personal side that you want to accomplish this year? And I want to hear about everybody in the chat as well. If you guys, not in the chat, but on Instagram, if anybody have any kind of
Marianne was like, a life? Yeah. Yeah, without those we're out of stock on those too. It's just like on the global chip shortage, where there's a global life shortage too.
Yeah.
Literally. No, dude, obviously just cosplay is the hobby for me, first and foremost. So just get on to the builds that I've got sort of lined up and see where it goes. Yeah, Kitty's in pretty seeing humans. Yeah, seeing humans is good. Yeah, that would be nice. A leaf, did you say? I've never heard of this. A life. Yes, a life, not a leaf. Leaves come on trees. I only did 100 this past year. Canadian Comic Cutie talking about
Cutie. Like there was a point. There's like 40 days where she had a different cosplay every day. And
every day. Yeah, crazy town. Yeah,
like,
I'm gonna have 4 is what I'm gonna do. But yeah, we'll see how that works out. And usually there's always some new piece of media will come out and I'll be like, oh, that would be a cool guy to cosplay. Or someone will message me and be like, yeah, have you seen this? You need to cosplay this guy. So
yeah,
that'll probably happen throughout as well.
Pentakill Cosplay. I that's one of your friends. I don't know what this person's name is, but
super talented.
Build another cosplay with the motivation that's been gone since the pandemic started.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of been a little bit of the boat that I've been in. Is it's finding that motivation to get started has been really tough.
Michael eating more bullshit crepes.
The bullshit crepes that Doug Ford's feeding you right now?
No. The bullshit crepes that were at Fan Expo, and one of the food vendors in there was only 3 food vendors. It was crepes, hot dogs, and then like hamburgers and French fries.
Yeah. Did you guys try the crepes?
Yeah. I mean, Michael did. Yeah. I did not. They didn't look like crepes. They looked like weird triangle burritos or something. I don't know what they were trying to do, but they looked awful.
We took a look at that lineup to get into the food court and basically said, no,
I don't. It was definitely worse on Saturday, but I think I went to the food court every day, and I was disappointed all 3 days. It was. I was more like I was happy to see the people that I saw and meet in the food court than I was actually eating in the food court. So
yeah. I think we bumped into you on the Saturday and you're like, yeah, we're going to Steam Whistle. And 10 minutes after that, we were like, why didn't we go?
Why didn't we go to Steam Whistle?
Yeah. The next time, guys, you're definitely coming to Steam Whistle. It is the place to go for sure. Cutie
says already did one this year. I'm assuming a cosplay she's talking about. I want to have at least one full cosplay and a whole bunch of body paints from the dork side. She's got some amazing body paints on her Instagram. Go check it out if you haven't seen. Mike Worst, I'm assuming you're talking about the crepes as well.
He is.
Hoping for cons. Let's see. I'd just be happy to see friends in person. Also submitting for. Oh my God, her frog lady. Damn, that is crazy. A wicked cosplay.
Kitty's and Pretty saying actually aiming to finish a Tron Legacy cosplay build. That would be the goal this year. I love Tron Legacy. Oh my God, I love it so much. I'm assuming you'll be doing the Olivia Wilde character, would be my guess, or would it be one of the 4 like Gem maybe or whatever? Asked for a crepe and got crap. That makes sense. The Whistle, yeah, Michael. We'll be hitting the Whistle, my friend, as soon as we get back to a point where we can actually dine in places.
Speaking of Olivia Wilde, just a little tidbit back to the Ghostbusters. Did you catch?
She's Gozer.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, and it worked well. I liked her as Gozer. I mean, she didn't look like I don't know who Gozer was in the original movie.
A model. That was her only real big gig.
Yeah, she didn't really look like whoever that person was, but it was cool. It was really cool.
Nice. Yeah, I could talk for another half hour about Ghostbusters, but
I love how they really brought it full circle. That's what did it for me, I think.
Yeah,
they really did. Every part of Ghostbusters was brought full circle.
Old man Flynn stoked to do the LEDs in the coat. Yeah, nice. Yeah, I love Tron Legacy. I wish it had been a bit bigger of a success so we could have got a 3rd movie, but that's Flynn lives, baby.
I thought there was some rumbles of a 3rd movie.
There was briefly, but the movie didn't quite make enough money globally to justify it. It's like a over $200 million budget and only made 400 and some odd million worldwide. And it just wasn't quite enough to.
Well, I mean, when you make $200 million, I mean, you would think that.
Well, you don't, right? Because the studios and the theaters about half and half, right? So if you spent $200 million in the film and then you spend another $50 million marketing it, and it only makes $400 million, you're actually in the hole a bit on that. So
yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, unfortunately, but
I try to explain that a lot to people when they talk about Star Wars. How really after paying $4.6 billion to buy Star Wars after spending $2 billion building Galaxy's Edge. Who knows how many hundreds of millions of dollars building this hotel. And then budget-wise for those 5 movies, you're over $1 billion to make what, $6 billion?
Yeah.
Like you're 12, like you're in the hole still.
Yeah.
All these years.
Yeah.
Disney is still in the hole when it comes to Star Wars. It blows my mind.
Really?
I was tempted to do the OG movie, but way too much hockey tape detailing. I love the old original hockey helmets. Yeah, they were amazing.
Yeah.
That fuck soundtrack. The Disney rides from Tron Legacy are racking in dough, though. Yeah, but I believe they don't have those in Florida, and in that the Tron Legacy ride is only in Japan, is it not?
Mm-hmm.
I have to look into that. I was under the impression the Tron Legacy ride was only in Japan, and it took them like 6 fucking years to build it or something stupid like that. I don't even want to know how much that cost them.
JS,
they are building in Florida. Oh, well, there you go. They're building the Tron Legacy ride in Florida. Well, I didn't know that.
It's almost done.
Still in construction. In 2027, you might be able to go check it out.
There you go.
After the pandemic.
After the pandemic, yeah.
Behind Tomorrowland and Magic Kingdom should open later this year. Well,
there you go.
Who knows? I ain't going to Disneyland, that's for sure.
Me neither.
Yep. Anything else you guys want to quickly talk about? We've been on for an hour and 20 minutes. I'm sure these poor people want to get to bed now. It's getting pretty late. Jeff, I'm surprised you're still awake.
Hey man, I'm hanging in. I'm hanging in for the peeps. Yeah, it is past 8. It's way past the old man's bedtime.
All right. Well, listen. Sorry, what was that?
Sorry, I got nothing.
No.
Nothing
All
else.
right. Well, then, hey, you know what? Let's close it off. Thank you very much, everybody. It is past Jeff's bedtime. See, everybody knows.
Jeff's bedtime. It's 6 p.m.
Well, Cutie, 6 p.m.
here.
over there in I forget if it's Calgary or I think it's Calgary, but
It's definitely in Alberta.
Yeah, definitely in Alberta, but it's 8 p.m. here, and it's way past Jeff's bedtime.
Way past.
But thank you everybody online for sticking with us. There's still a bunch of people watching online, so that's awesome. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for everybody for watching till the end. Hey, Rob, first time on the podcast, man. It was awesome.
Yeah, it's been fun, guys.
You're gonna have to come back. We're definitely gonna be doing more build videos anyway, so you guys are all gonna get to see more of him. Let's see here. Quick couple last comments. It was a pleasure listening. Thanks for the entertainment. Hey, you are very welcome. Oh, Edmonton. Cutie's in Edmonton, not Calgary. Apologies. Calgary and Edmonton is like Montreal and Toronto. They don't like
how dare you, sir?
Yeah, how dare I confuse it? Old man's got to get to bed. Boo. Yeah, old man doesn't have to get to bed. Although we're all old men here. So thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for sticking out. Hey, leave a comment below. Let us know what you're looking forward to this year. That'll be it. We'll see you next time.